The hits just keep on coming with the PlayStation 5 and the amazing responses that Xbox has whenever Sony shows something regarding the next generation PS5. Obviously, I'm talking about the complete teardown of the PS5 that showed a PlayStation engineer take apart the console in front of everyone. Now, usually this is a pretty awesome thing to see, and it really shows us the cool innovations that the console has to offer. But instead, we got some archaic ways to stand and lay down a piece of technology, and we also got a far more convoluted way to expand the storage in a system. For all intents and purposes, the PS5 is pretty much a tinkering system that's teetering on the verge of becoming a PC that people need to crack open in order to do what they all want to do with it, which is expand the storage. It's a far cry from the simplistic and far superior design of the Xbox Series X, and I know that's going to get a lot of people angry and they'll yell from the rooftops talking about it's just my opinion. Well, it's not just my opinion, instead it's a lot of people's opinion, including some gaming industry professionals. But it's not just the people around the industry talking about the PS5 teardown, it's also Xbox social media account talking about it and bringing some of the most savage rebuttals I've seen a company do. Not to mention we have Aaron Greenberg, the head of Xbox marketing, pointing out the far better way to expand your storage on the Xbox Series X. To be quite honest, I have trouble understanding Sony's strategy moving forward because everything they've done the last 3 months has been very telling. They backtracked on the generations talk and made most of their games compatible on the PS4, which makes the PS5 useless according to some people. And now they show off the console for the first time, and it's this massive piece of hardware that can't stand up on its own without a stand. The console seems like a user experience nightmare, and I wonder what struggles they had in creating this thing. And because of that, Sony has allowed Microsoft and Xbox to really take charge in a lot of great aspects leading into the next generation. It's as if Sony is helping Xbox market the Xbox Series X in a much better light. Because at this point, I feel like they're underhand pitching these things to Xbox, and it's starting to get out of hand. But let's get into what was said and what we should expect from the next generation consoles, and why Xbox is a less complicated and better engineered console. But first, like always, if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so let's just jump into this topic because I find it to be pretty interesting. First of all, as a person that is buying both consoles, I have to say that the PS5 is going to be one massive piece of hardware. And after seeing the breakdown of the console, you can see that this piece of hardware wasn't made with the user in mind. Instead, it's designed by engineers for engineers, it would seem. What I mean by that is, in my opinion, they really didn't take into account the people that will be using the actual console. I say that because one of the biggest things with these consoles is the amount of hard drive space that will be provided. And seeing how everyone is screaming at the top of their lungs about the SSD and how amazing it is on the PS5, most people don't understand that the console will come with less than 700 gigs of space for you to install games on it. That's not a lot of space when you take into account the size of current generation games, let alone next generation games. And in order for people to expand their storage on the PS5, they have to take apart the system and install the new SSD. A lot of people pointed this out as a little too complicated for consoles, which are known for being very user-friendly, not to mention extremely simplistic. And as for me, I've been gaming on consoles and PCs since I was 10 years old, so taking systems apart and putting them together is pretty simple for me. But I never in my life had to take apart a console to install certain things on it. It's a massive departure to what Xbox, the direct competitors to PlayStation, are doing. They have a simple hard drive disk in the back of the console and you just plug in and play. And it's something that Aaron Greenberg made sure people remembered after the PS5 was showcased. And if you remember, Aaron Greenberg is the head of marketing at Xbox. Here's what he had to say. Big kudos to Jason Ronald and our hardware team for their approach to making next-gen expandable storage options easy for our fans. More to come here, and beards rule. Now, Jay Ronald is obviously Jason Ronald, who is one of the lead engineers on the next generation Xbox Series X consoles. You might have seen him around lately talking about the consoles with his epic beard that belongs in something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Anyway, this guy is an awesome engineer and has made it extremely user-friendly when they want people to expand their storage on the console. So instead of taking apart your console just to install a hard drive expansion, you'll be able to just plug and play, which is what consoles are made for. They're there for people to have a very easy transition from buying their piece of technology and jumping into a game. And to explain that, I found this quote from Jason Ronald himself. Here's what he had to say. I think over time you'll see this in a category that's really critical to us. You'll see multiple options and different form factors in different sizes. But what was really important for us is that we had a simple, easy to use option available day one. You can expect to see more options moving forward. Now, this was Jason obviously talking about the expandable storage, and I have to say, what he said here is truly what console gaming is all about. Making it simple and easy is the name of the game when it comes to any form of technology. It's why Apple was so successful with the iPhone and with their operating system. They made things extremely easy and focus on the end user instead of the crazy technical side of things. Is the high-end performance there? Of course, but making it accessible to the user is what's most important. And that's exactly what Xbox has done. They not only made their expandable storage that much better, but they were able to make it simple. That's great engineering. It's something that Sony is lacking, and it's something that they might not have an answer for unless they bring out another console in like 3 or 4 years. So this is something that will be a win for Xbox this coming generation. Which brings me to the most random thing I saw during the PS5 teardown, which is the stand that helps the console stand up and lay down. I mean, I've never seen a console in my life that needs help to stand upright. If there is one, please tell me in the comments below. It's as if the console is so big and can't handle all the weight or something. And this is something I pointed out on Twitter, talking about having to actually unscrew and screw a stand on the console depending on what I want to do with it. And it's something that a lot of industry insiders talked about also, especially after this article came out talking about how the PS5 stand is engineering brilliance. Well, it's not, and Tom Warren had this to say about it. I don't think engineering brilliance should require a screwdriver. Now that's pure savagery, and it's honestly something that people need to understand. No matter what console you love or what platform you like, this type of engineering is so archaic, and it's honestly jarring to see because it's something I never figured I'd see ever in my life. I mean, I have to sit there and tinker with a stand to put my console up or lay it down? What? And if you think Xbox let something like this go by, you'd be wrong. Here's what they had to say on the whole thing. How to switch the Xbox Series X from vertical to horizontal. And you could just see it. They have it standing up and then laying on its side. Simple as that. You just tip it over. Again, the hits just keep on coming for the PS5. This is one of the funniest things I've seen. I mean, how many more PR hits can Sony take? First, it's the generations lie, and then the fact you can't save games across the PS4 or PS5 for some of the next generation games. And now you can't even have your console stand up on its own without a stand or lay down on its side for fear it might roll over somebody and take out your house or something because it's so massive. And now you have the Xbox posting a simple picture of a console laying down and standing up. It's great to see, and honestly, it's kind of funny because these two companies have been going back and forth for years. Yet that wasn't the most telling tweet I saw. One of the biggest reasons people said the PS5 is so big is because it's so powerful and it needs to be that big to hold all that power. Well, how do you explain the Xbox Series X being more powerful and even smaller? Well, Albert Penneller, who's an industry insider, had this to say, and he explains why the Xbox Series X is smaller. Usually when something is more powerful, smaller, and quieter, there's a term for that. It's called better engineered. Xbox One X was the same way. Why are people surprised this time? That, folks, is what you call a checkmate, because it does bring up a very solid point that debunks pretty much every single excuse used to make the PS5 look like this masterwork piece of hardware, when in reality it's overstuffed and convoluted and honestly just seems rushed. It's nothing like the engineering that's been done with the Xbox Series X, which has all sorts of features that cater to the gamer, not the engineer making them. That's the point of making something that's supposed to be simple. You challenge the engineers to make something that's easy to use for the users, not for them to engineer. And that's exactly what Aaron Greenberg, Jason Ronald, and a lot of these insiders are trying to say in so many words. The PS5 doesn't look like a system that put the gamers first. Instead, it looks like a system designed by engineers that didn't want to figure out a different way to make it easier for the people that will actually use the console. And seeing all those pain points like the display stand or the SSD expansion, it all looks overcomplicated compared to the competition. And that's a big no-no in the world of technology. It's simple. The most easy to use and less complicated piece of hardware and software tends to win, which puts Xbox in a much better position than their counterpart. Now, I know a lot of people will get mad at me for saying that, but whatever, I have to say it because as someone in the tech world, I see the terrible design decisions made. And I have to admit, this has shades of 2013 Xbox where they kept doing the wrong thing and saying the wrong things. That's where Sony is at. It seems like they're actively trying to see what they can get away with and what they can get gamers to actually accept because of their ecosystem. Let's see if gamers will allow it to happen. Either way, I'm getting both consoles and I can't wait to get my hands on both of them so I can make judgments on my own. But so far what I've seen, Xbox is far superior than anything I've seen from the competition. But enough about what I think about this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Do you find the PS5 breakdown to be underwhelming? Why can't the PS5 stand up on its own? Do you agree that the Xbox Series X is a better engineered piece of hardware? Did the PS5 teardown surprise you in any way? Is one screw for the stand one screw too many? Do you find the Xbox marketing team is killing it? What else can Sony do until gamers start lashing out at them? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so let's get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing Dishonored 2. I'm having a lot of fun with that. It was on Game Pass, so I decided, you know what? I haven't played this. I'm going to get on this. And I didn't really want to jump into any new games because I'm honestly waiting for the new consoles, and I want to play those games at the highest fidelity and the highest frame rate performance that will be available on those next-gen consoles. But honestly, I'm enjoying Dishonored 2. I think it's really fun. And again, it's a first-party IP from Xbox now, so I'm really enjoying that. But tell me what you're playing. Go down below. Are you playing anything from your backlog? Are you playing the new games? Are you playing Avengers, Mafia, Dishonored, or something from Game Pass? Go down below and let me know. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.